Before we begin, I just want to let you know who I am in case you're somehow new to the Brave Writer universe. I'm Julie Bogart. That pillow back there has the names of all 5 of my kids. 5. Yeah, I know. It's a bunch of kids. And I homeschooled them for a very long time. Today, they are all fully functional adults. 3 of them are married. The 4th one is getting married in the fall. And my 5th one is a UN peacekeeper in Central African Republic right now. They live all over the world. They're all doing amazing things. Homeschooling works, but I could never, ever have done this journey alone. I don't know about you, but if you are a parent who cares about the education of their kids, whether you homeschool or not, you will be feeling all of the stress and the worry and the concern that comes with being in charge fully of your child's outcome. How many of you have experienced that? You wake up in the morning and you think, do I know how to do what I'm doing? My daughter, Johanna, just had her first baby. I spent a month with her in Mexico where she and her husband live. And watching her become a mother reminded me again of just how powerful that full responsibility is. Like from the moment that child's born, you go from kids, they're interesting. Why aren't those parents doing a better job too? I have no idea what I'm doing, but I care very, very much about doing a phenomenal job, right? Isn't that how we all feel? So this job that you've taken on, whether it's just parenting, there's no just here, whether it's parenting plus a school option like private school, public school, hybrid school, or parenting plus the full responsibility to home educate your children, bravo to you. We can't do it alone. What I felt when I was raising my children was that I wanted resources, I wanted community, and I wanted coaching. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Resources, the best tools, simple to use programs, classes that my kids loved, the feeling that my philosophy was rooted not only in good ideas, but research and science and the experience of veteran parents and educators. I wanted community, friends on the journey, right? People who were going to say, yeah, I've got a 2-year-old too, who I can't get to potty train. Oh my gosh, I have a 15-year-old who argues with me all the time. Yeah, my 11-year-old is really believing that she can travel to Europe by herself. What do I do about that? We're looking for sort of people who correspond with our current experience. And then we're also looking for coaches, people who've already lived through those ages and stages, who have a little perspective, what I call the grandmother ability of coaching, right? Those people who've actually walked through the paces. I noticed when I was with my daughter, she was a brand new breastfeeder. They were, sleeping with their baby and trying to figure out how to handle all those details. And I just found myself spontaneously sharing stories of when she was a baby, of how the other 4 kids did, about my confusion when I was 29 versus 35. And it was interesting to me because I'm sure that she's heard me tell some of those stories before, but suddenly her eyes were huge and her energy was present because she knew that I had experience. There was something about what I had been through that now might be mined for valuable information for her. So inside our huge community, which we're going to look at together, we provide you with resources, friends, community, and coaches, veteran home educators who've walked the journey you're walking, who can give you the support, the insight, the tips and the tricks that you're looking for. Ready? Okay, so let's go. I'm going to share my screen and we're just going to take a look at this membership community. Now, the first thing I want you to know is there are 12,000 members in there, and yet we have the capacity to be close to and intimate with you, to answer your pressing questions, to be interested in what's going on in your family, not just sort of the big world of homeschooling. The good news is, because it's such a large community, We have a wealth of resources. We're staffed up with a big team. In fact, two of those coaches are on with us today. Heather and Ramona are in the chat, and they are two of the people offering you this veteran feedback. So let's get started, shall we? Here we go. Brave Learner Home is the community where you will find resources, friends, and coaching. So when you come to bravewriter.com, you are going to log in on the homepage to get to Brave Learner Home. I've put a little arrow where it says signed in as Julie, because that's where you're going to sign in. And when you sign in, this is the kind of page you're going to see. You'll see a description of who you are, and you will see a link to the Brave Learner Home, as well as any products you bought from us that are bundles or year-long subscriptions. So any other products will just come to you through email. But if you purchase one of our bundles or you purchase one of our year-long programs, you will find that we house those materials for you inside this account. I wanted you to see this dashboard because it is a beautiful way for you to stay current with what's going on with us. So we've got Brave Writer events, we have your profile, and then we have some of your products and a link to Brave Learner Home. Once you're inside, however, this is where things get really, really good. Every month, I write you a note that gives you an overview of what to look forward to in that month. And then there is a list of upcoming events. You can click on those links and you will be able to be a part of whatever that event is. So let's take a look at the July and August events coming up. Right now, you're in summer camp. So that is one of the events we tell you about. On July 21st, I'm going to lead a webinar that talks about how to do intuitive homeschool planning. Intuitive homeschool planning is a kind of planning that I do that helps you feel like you are not only organizing curriculum, but you are planning for the child you love. We are going to take your child's interests, passions, personality, neurodivergencies into account as we make a plan for the coming school year. In fact, we have such a beautiful community of community members and staff members who've worked with neurodivergent children and who have that neurodivergency themselves. So you will feel wholly supported if you are coming with some surprising needs. So intuitive homeschool planning is where I help you actually be the effective home educator and parent you want to be. Then we talk about fall class early registration. It's all here for you to remember and put on your calendar. We do trainings for our products, Quill, Dart, Arrow, Boomerang, and Slingshot on our Brave Learner Home Instagram account. And then we have an orientation for new people and a webinar called Back to Homeschool in August, where we really rev up for the coming year. In other words, the upcoming events calendar is going to take you through both internal events for Brave Learner Home and the external events that are common to all of Brave Writer, so that your dashboard has all the information you need to know. Once you've read the note from me, you will scroll down and you will see that we have 6 ways to engage inside Brave Learner Home. We've got master classes in learning. We've got community coaching. We have one thing challenges. We have an events calendar and a coaching notebook. These tiles each give you aspects of what you can receive inside Brave Learner Home. So the first one is called the Master Class in Learning. This is where we do trainings to support you in your development as a parent, home educator, and awesome adult. We like to say in the Brave Learner Home that we are training you to be an effective educator, a compassionate parent, and an awesome adult. So everything within our community drives to those 3 ideas. Let's take a look at what you'll find inside a masterclass of learning. So the masterclass this month is on intuitive homeschool planning. So when you open it up, there will be a description of what this month's content is focused on, followed by a list of items for you. So there's a webinar, there are exercises and activities that are linked to our community discussion. We'll look at that in a moment. And you're able to click on each of these and participate in that month so that you have a really strong sense of what we're all doing during the month of, say, July. But we've been doing these master classes now for 8 years. So we have housed all the previous master classes inside this library. And as you can see, the categories are personal enrichment, science of learning, subject areas, family life, home atmosphere, ages and stages, the Brave Learner book club from my book, The Brave Learner, and guest speakers. I want to show you what happens when you click on one of these buttons. Ready? So here is the home atmosphere library. And this, by the way, is a fraction of what you'll find there. It's as much as I could fit on this screen. But as you can see, we've got homeschooling with project time, your child's perspective, video games, psychological flexibility, everything you wanted to know about unschooling, but were afraid to ask, building a culturally rich family atmosphere, storytelling, playing the long game. Can you see all of these rich masterclass webinars and content that you can just pull up when you have a need or a question? Perhaps you want to know, gosh, I really want to do projects with my kids. Oh, there's a masterclass on project time. I'm just going to watch that one and read the content and supply myself with that sort of education. How many of you know that teachers are required to do continuing education and professional development? See the masterclass library as your professional development as a parent and educator. The other masterclass library that I highlighted was our guest speakers. This is where you're going to find people who are quote unquote famous, right? We've got Goldie Muhammad, who wrote Cultivating Genius. Dr. Muhammad was a phenomenal guest for us. We had Valerie Bang Jensen and Mark Lubkowitz talk about their book, Sharing Books, Talking Science. We had Amber O'Neill Johnston from Heritage Mom Blog talk about her new book, A Place to Belong. This is where you'll find Susan Wise Bauer and Jim Weiss. Samantha Feynman spoke to us about executive function. She comes from New Frontiers, which deals with helping children with executive function issues. So these are examples of an abundance of resources. You could just pick one a month or come and look when you've got questions or feel the need for additional stimulation. Once you've done some masterclass and learning stuff, you probably want to talk with the community. I don't blame you. We have a discussion board that is designed just for our password protected community. And the login you use to get to this dashboard gets you inside the discussion board. It's not a separate login. This is built specifically for Brave Writer. We keep the discussions active for 3 months at a time, and then they scroll off the screen. There's a reason for that. We know that sometimes you're sharing personal details, and we don't want you to feel like when you share, it's going to be there for 15 years, available at a glance to anybody who looks. If you post to our discussion boards, your contributions are archived after 3 months, and they only come up if somebody is searching in an issue related to something that you shared. Here's what our discussion board looks like. We organize it both by month and then also by featured discussions, coaching for Brave Writer products, and coaching for homeschool. So you will see when you come a whole plethora of options for posting. You can start your own new conversation and ask any question anytime. Here's something you may not know about us. We have an app. Yes, we paid for one. It was not cheap, by the way. I'm like Twitter. I own an app. The Brave Learner Home app is available both in Google Play and Apple in the App Store. And here's the amazing thing. Once you have been added to Brave Learner Home, all you have to do is log in. There's no additional purchase. So this is a way to use your phone and stay off the computer if you want to. The next part of Brave Learner Home are what we call one thing challenges. One thing challenges. Where does that come from? Well, if you've read my book, The Brave Learner, or you've hung around Brave Writer at all, you know one of my solutions to a lot of stress is to do one thing at a time. One thing at a time. So when you feel really overwhelmed, I ask you to pick one topic or one idea or one aspect of a school subject and hunker down on that and really exploit it, enjoy it, and learn. For a lot of parents, this is a challenge. So we created a whole place where we build unit studies around a single concept, a one thing. And then we give you 3 challenge levels so that you can experience what it is to focus on and prioritize one thing at a time. So this month in July, we're talking about rivers, streams, and lakes. And as you can see, look in your upper left corner, there are 3 challenges: wander by the water, water inside and out, and the weight of water. So from wander on the water, these are all screenshots compiled into one screen for you. This is not how it will exactly look on your screen. If you click on wander by the water, you're going to see everything on the right. And I want you to notice that we have a word waterfall, hydrology hunt, explore an ecosystem, muddle around in the mud. In other words, we're giving you actual activities that are already predetermined for you. And you can just try these with your kids and have a unit study ready to go. This is especially helpful on days when your own creativity feels low and you're needing a little kickstart or a little inspiration. The second challenge level, water inside and out, you can see that where these 2 circles match. We give you a history of where water comes from. And there is a much longer piece of text that goes with this, but each challenge level includes links, games, YouTube videos, websites to explore, and activities to do. And the weight of water actually involves science and math, so that you're starting to see how you can use one thing to teach everything. As I like to say in The Brave Learner and in Brave Writer, everything can teach anything, and anything can teach everything. So imagine being able, right, to come to a space like this and be able to have all of that support. We also have a one thing challenge library: arts, culture, games, nature, projects, and STEM, for all of the previous one thing challenges we have done. In addition to one thing challenges, we have a start your journey. This one is being reformatted right now, so I'm not showing it to you. So that one I'm not showing you. And then we have the events calendar, which is also located here behind this tile or on the main page of your dashboard. The final place that you will enjoy using inside the Brave Learner Home is the coaching notebook. Inside the coaching notebook, we have 5 different tiles: Brave Learner coaching practices, the Brave Writer products support. So if you purchase something, we've got a bunch of tools to help you use it. Help your child write, the quill, dart, arrow, boomerang, and slingshot tools that inspire and support you, and a self-care spa with all kinds of interesting practices you can use to keep yourself feeling good and whole and healthy. So let's take a look at the Brave Learner coaching practices folder so you can get a sense of what's inside. Look on the left-hand side. Inside this folder, we have common practices that we teach inside the Brave Learner Home. Many of these practices are also described in my book. They all have a role to play in helping you live your most joyful and skillful life. Each one of these is a different style of product. So the 6-week on-ramp to homeschool is literally a downloadable PDF file that is free to members that helps you explore different methods of organizing and planning. I give you 6 weeks, 2 weeks to prepare, 4 weeks to execute, a different one each week. So you can decide, are you that type A person who needs it all written out, or a person who deals with overarching units, or somebody who likes using a bingo card, or someone who's more unschooly? I walk you through how to plan for each of those so that you can have an experience before you make a decision. Then we have our Brave Learner Home precepts and treasures. These are the values that we live by and promote inside Brave Writer. Then we've got a YouTube video where we talk about having conversations inside our discussion space and anywhere that we interact with other homeschoolers. We have an explanation of what I call the narrative sketch. For those of you who have Growing Brave Writers or who have been around me for a while, you know that I recommend keeping a little journal of each thing that your child is doing and learning at the end of the day or the week or the month so that you can track your progress. We explain that inside that link. We also talk about something that's super popular in Brave Writer called the scatter book. You can see our Brave Learner Home persona lady over here writing away in her scatter book. The scatter book is where we take notes, where we keep track of what we're learning, where we notice how our kids are growing and changing. So all of these are available inside of the coaching practices. You can just take them one at a time and discover new tools to support you in the planning and execution of your homeschool. For those of you who are interested then in joining Brave Learner Home, we have a special offer for you. Brave Writers products, which Dawn is going to talk to us about after the break, are there to help you be an effective homeschooler of writing. And so we have bundled our best products for these different age ranges: beginning writers, emerging writers, middle school writers, high school writers, and college prep writers. When you purchase one of these bundles, we will add you to Brave Learner Home, our community, for a lifetime for free. That's right. You won't ever have to pay again. You'll just be in there. You can come and participate as often as you like. If you go to bravewriter.com/special offer, you will see this page and be able to select one and purchase. Very good. Okay, so the Q&A folder. I don't see all those titles at the bottom of the homepage of Masterclass of Learning. Okay, it might have been just the way that your screen was set up, but I promise you, when you're on the website, you'll see all of them in great detail. I am so glad that some of you have been following me and now you know you want to join. Here's what I want to tell you that is harder to do with a screen share, and now you have just my face. We really take seriously our desire to support our program. I remember back when my kids were young, I was using Saxon Math. Some of you will remember that from back in the day. And I got to this problem in fourth grade math, and I was really confused by the instructions. Mr. Saxon had laid it out in what he thought was an unconfusing way. But, you know, math's hard for me. And I wasn't sure I understood his vocabulary. And so I looked at my child, and I was trying really hard to try and explain it to him. And I just wilted on the inside. And the thought that went through my head was, this is pre-internet, I wish I had Mr. Saxon's phone number. I will bet that if I could call him, I'd ask this question, he could answer it instantly, and I'd be back to math. But instead, I'm paralyzed. I cannot think of how to go forward because I've got this one nagging question, and I have no one I can ask it to. Enter Brave Learner Home. That's when I knew way back then that someday I wanted a space on the internet that was an ongoing resource that not only supported my program, my products, the Brave Writer spectrum of offerings, but that could also answer those other questions. Like, I'm working on multiplication tables and my kids are really struggling to sort of understand the multiple nature. And then someone comes along and says, well, with my daughter, I use seashells because we lived in California and we started doing regrouping with her favorite seashells. And of course, when I read that on an email list, I was like, I'm going to do that. You just want ideas. You can't think of everything alone. And sometimes you just want the creator of the program to say, yep, you have the right idea. Or actually, the nuance we meant was X. I do everything I can with my team to give you all the information we think you need, but you are going to have questions we couldn't anticipate. So why punish you for that? Our goal is to wrap our arms around you and give you the nurturing and support that you crave, to be there for you even when you change your mind. One of the things about the Brave Learner Home that is another central value of mine, ready? It is that we do not promote a single viewpoint. True to my raising critical thinkers and brave learner content, we are a diverse community, an inclusive community, which means that we are as diverse as humankind. So we're going to have people in there you don't agree with. But what we've learned how to do in that space is to play well with each other, to learn from one another. This community has been going for 8 years, and I think we've moderated 2 or 3 comments in that entire time, because everyone understands the foundation that we stand on, which is that when we embrace one another, we learn the most. And we're there to learn. We're not there to tell. We're not there to grandstand. We're there to be curious, to be humble, to be mutually accountable and supportive. So that's the kind of environment you will be in. We have men, we have women, we have non-binary, we have people from all different religious backgrounds. We have people who are homeschooling, people who are unschooling, people who are private schooling, people who are religious schooling, people who are hybrid schooling. And you can come in and say, I'm homeschooling this year, but next year I'm putting my kids in school, and no one will shame you for that. In fact, we will all tell you stories of when we did that, or when someone we knew did that, or cheerleading you on so that we will learn from that experience that you have. So you are able to participate no matter who you are. People are asking a question in here about if being a member gives you access to all the library of resources. And the answer is absolutely 100% yes. That is one of the great gifts of being a member of this community. Okay, I'm going to open the Q&A folder now and go through these questions. Am I a member if I purchase the discounted bundle after purchasing the Dart separately? I don't know if I quite understand the question. Any bundle gets you in. So if you bought a bundle like the beginning writers bundle, and then you also purchase the Dart, you'll be in, no problem. You can also, by the way, join Brave Learner Home a la carte. You can join it for $99 for 6 months or $198 for a lifetime. So that's another way to join. For instance, if you are here and not a homeschooler, but these resources about parenting and education are meaningful to you, then go ahead and just join, purchase a membership, and you don't even have to own any of our products to do that. Are classes for children included in Brave Learner Home membership? We do not have children's classes in Brave Learner Home. Occasionally we have invited kids in, right? Like we'll have a session where we're like, kids can come, but this is really for the parents. It's not a kids program. Some people are asking if the membership is for life. Yes, for as long as Brave Learner Home exists, once you're in, you're in. There's no re-upping. Is there an independent Brave Writer 101 and 102 class if I can't make the scheduled lessons? Okay. So that's the other thing I want to mention. You are added to Brave Learner Home if you take an online class with us that has a tuition of $198 or more. So the threshold level is $198. If you sign up a kid for a class, most of our classes are over that threshold, you will be added. All of our classes are asynchronous, but they do fit the dates that we set for them. There is no independent study class at this time. We will have more classes, however, in the spring semester. So if you can't fit us in the fall, come back in the spring. If we buy a bundle, is it for a lifetime or a year? So you will always get to keep your products once you buy them. There is no expiration date. So when you come in, you will go to those folders and download your products to your computer so that you own them forever. The bundles work for multiple years, but your kids are going to get older. So there will be a point at which it's time to buy the next bundle. We have 5 bundles and there are 12 grades of school. Does that help you understand how we think? We actually believe you can use a bundle for multiple years. as a parent just starting, what is the best place to begin? What do I personally need to learn before we dive in for my kids ages 7 and 9? So first, I highly recommend my book, The Brave Learner. So this is The Brave Learner. And I would call this the text for homeschooling. If you want to understand everything you need to know philosophically, emotionally, practically, start with The Brave Learner. And then if you've got older kids, or even if you don't, the next book to buy is Raising Critical Thinkers. But guess what? I'm going to talk about these in the last session. So I'm going to save that for later. As far as Brave Writer goes, with a 7 and 9-year-old, start with the Beginning Writers Bundle. You will have a magical year. I'm not kidding you. Just a fabulous year. All right, let's go. If I am a member of Brave Learner Home, about how much are the master classes I can choose to take? All of them. There is no limit. There is no limit. They are there like a library. Like if you go to a library, is there a limit on how many books? I mean, there's a limit to how many you can carry or check out at one time, but you're allowed to read every book in the library. That's how Brave Learner Home is set up. Every book in the library. Okay, so everything is in there. And this has been 8 years, and we've been doing master classes one every month. So do the math, 8 times 12, that should help you figure it out. Okay, this whole program is new to me, already purchased. Where do you recommend I start within your online to prep for the first week? So what I would recommend is if you buy a bundle, start by listening to my audio file in your Brave Writer account and download how to use this bundle. And then come into the Brave Learner Home and join me on the 21st for my planning webinar, and we'll get you going. It'll be perfect for you. You'll be right on track to get started. During the month of June, I bought the 2022-2023 Aero program. Is the Brave Learner Home membership included? Yes, it is. You should already have your login information. If you don't, reach out to us, help@bravewriter.com, and we'll make sure that you have what you need. But you should already have received the login information. When you buy a bundle, you get the lessons for that year. So the Aero will be the 2022-2023. And then if you want the Aero next year, you'll have to buy it again. So our products, you have to buy again or more if you go up a level or change a program. But Brave Learner Home, the membership site, that you get forever. I hope that's really clear. There's so much in Brave Learner Home, it's a bit overwhelming. Where would be the best place to start? The masterclass, the one thing challenge for someone just starting the lifestyle. Okay, so one of the things we do not do is give you directions, because what I've discovered is so many people have unique needs. So here's what I recommend. Okay, 2 things. 1, trust your gut. You look at that screen and you're like, I'm kind of interested in their lesson plans. I'm going to do the one thing challenges and just look through. Or I'm actually needing some sort of homeschool support. I'm going to start in the master classes, and start with just this month. Don't feel like you have to go backwards unless something catches your eye. Just do what's happening this month. This month's masterclass, this month's one thing, and get your feet wet. And then start to explore the resources. Does that make sense? Also, yes, Ramona is reminding me, we have a monthly orientation where you can just come in and the coaches are going to walk you through everything that is inside. The master classes are free once you are a member. There's nothing to pay for. Once you're in, you're in. I know it sounds too good to be true, because it is. I got in a lot of trouble with my business coaches originally. They're like, Julie, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. All I know is I hate keeping track of subscriptions, and I want everybody to have access to this information. So that's what we did. The option to create an account when signing in. When you go to sign into Brave Learner Home, up in that corner, you can click reset password, and that will let you set the account. All right, I love all your books. I'm confused about what to buy. I have a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old. What should I buy? So for that age range, I think I would probably go with either the Emerging Writers Bundle or the Middle School Writers Bundle. If you do the Emerging Writers Bundle, For the 13-year-old, you may want to start with Growing Brave Writers and do that with both kids, and then branch out if the 13-year-old needs more challenge than partnership writing. But let me tell you this, partnership writing is inside the bundle, and I used it for my kids 13 down to age 6, and you certainly can do that as well. Come to Dawn's product webinar, and she's going to give you a lot of detail on that. Okay, so let me just say this. Here's the thing about Brave Learner Home. It is a community space of resources, and there is no wrong way to use it. And there is way more to explore than you can possibly handle in a month. You can't break it. You can't do it wrong. There is no right order. Now, I know that's terrifying to many of you. I don't know what this socialization training is that we're not allowed to just click around and see what we like. But I'm here to tell you, you will get the most out of it if you do that. There is not a right way. It is a library of resources. But one thing you could do is go into the community coaching discussion board and post a question saying, what's your favorite resource? I'm new. I'd like some advice, and let the community tell you. That would be a fabulous way to get started. Yeah, Ramona, that's perfect. Think of it like a salad bar. You don't put everything on your plate. Oh, and Stephanie Elms is in the chat as well. She is another one of our coaches. She's been with me since day one, back when we first started. And Stephanie is the first one to tell you, be choosy, selective, follow your intuition, follow your preferences. Do not feel like there is a right way. The first rule of Brave Writer is there's not a right way. There's only your way. And it comes from you actually turning the camera lens on yourself and asking a question. Do I need help with planning? Do I need help with figuring out products? Do I need help with having a unit study where I don't do the planning? Do I need tools? Do I need friendship? Do I need someone to hold my hand? All answers we have for you inside Brave Learner Home. Identify your most pressing need and start there. Thank you, Heather. That is perfect. I am so thrilled that you guys stayed with me to the end. Okay, there's one more comment and then we're going to go. Kathy says, already owning Faltering Ownership, which we now call Building Confidence. Purchased this planner when it was released. Love the planner, love the name change. Do I need to purchase the new planner or anything available for those that already own the previous planner? So you're talking about the intuitive homeschool planning tool. It's the same, it just got designed. So if you already own it from before, you're good. You don't need to buy another one. I accidentally bought my 9-year-old Arrow last year instead of Dart. The books were challenging, but he handled it. Would you recommend going back and buying the bundle with the Dart this time or sticking with the Arrow? I would go with the Dart bundle. I would, because those arrows you can use anytime, but the level of the Dart is going to be so much fun for you guys. So yeah, I would definitely do that bundle. I think that's, look at you. Your intuition already knew. I didn't need to tell you, but I'm happy to confirm. Cannot wait to get to know all of you. Thanks for being here. I'm going to hop off so you have some time to get lunch and get your kids ready for the fabulous Melissa Wiley. She is about to read aloud from a novel in progress. I mean, come on, that is such a treat. So I look forward to seeing you at the top of the hour, wherever you are. Thank you for being here. We can't wait to meet you. All right, everybody. See you.